Mukaya mona tata muhumi wampe.
We are part of Zambia, and if we can't save it, we all perish, and we will be slaves in our own country. I just saw people standing, beeping on a small window, one after the other. The situation was unusual, and I asked, "What's going on?" Behind me, I heard, "Bali and others are here to see you." I felt relieved. Finally, I can speak to someone who he may hear me out, since himself has been to Mukobeko for the cause of trumped up charges, because he speaks against corruption. Within 2.5 minutes, somebody told me, "It looks that there is some commotion. Oh no, they have denied him access to see you." I lost even that little energy I had. I sat down. I heard this inmate behind me say, "Bwana Chella, why don't people get it?" I asked, Get what? "What do you mean?" he said. "The need to protect our country, to speak against injustice and corruption. It's so obvious of this regime. Our country is endowed and rich with mineral resources. Instead of distributing it equally, they selfishly make it theirs to satisfy their own bellies. They single-handedly give our copper, our manganese, can I name it, our gold mines to Chinese, thereby making our mines the assets of China and other foreign entities, leaving Zambians with nothing, causing Zambians to be going and beg for employment in our own country. We are not a priority, so foreigners can get jobs, but Zambians, nothing but poverty. It's just a matter of time. Foreigners will be on the steering wheel." Bwana Chella, you are here in jail because you are one vocal voice speaking against these things, but the same people you speak for are condemning you. Chella should have done better. Bwana Chella, why don't Zambians get it? Zambians should know this. When the corrupt rule, they auction this country. Without spending limits, the whole country will be gone, and there will be no Zambia to talk about. But we Zambians will be accomplices in our own country. Wow! I picked my energy from the words after I heard the profound words from an inmate right in jail. Instead of being encouraged, I felt more angry, because I concluded colonial rule is coming back and we will be ruled by foreign powers. He looked at me. Shall this be the end and conclusion of our country? I can't help but contemplate. Should we be the accomplice and victims to our own making because we never stood for what's right, but chose to be comfortable because we were afraid of being arrested? I'm in prison now, and you are out there condemning me that I called this on myself. Like a man with an addiction, everyone thinks it cannot happen to them until they come for you. We are the most informed Zambians to ever exist. But sometimes I wonder if the future generation of Zambia, with this behavior of ours, will look back and call us Zambia's failed experiment. But this is not an experiment. To me, it's a matter of existence and extinction. If you don't fight, forget about the Zambia. you have been imagining. If Kapwepwe and VJ could speak, what do you think they would say? Will we be another example of wasted potential? Should they say our country should have been like that footballer who was better than Dhaka but never made it on the Chipolopolo and Europe squad because he was caught up with something else? I don't mean malice, but every day corruption is happening in their offices. You doubt me? Just look at the Auditor General's report, the Financial Intelligence Center's report, the famous $1 million wheelbarrows. When we Zambians seem to be okay with it, maybe this is an understatement. We seem to be hypocrites and complacent, afraid to challenge them for fear that they will arrest us. It has happened to me, but you don't have to wait till it's too late to save our country. Nonetheless, the fact remains that we Zambians, our country depends on you and me to speak against visionless leadership. I'm not just in jail, but I am praying for you, all Zambians, that the Almighty God should give you courage to withstand these oppressors. And remember, never vote for any of them and their likeness. Everything this regime does is overrated. Every project overpriced. Just look at the quality of their roads against our money they pay. Imagine the whole lot of their members say, Fionse Filifia we know. Imagine seated with Zanko Mpundu Mutembo, the man of Mbala, also on the freedom statue, who break free from the chains, telling you that we are headed for disaster. And them, who would you believe? This is not just an analogy. We are indeed headed for disaster, almost reaching the crash course. And if we don't put the brakes, spaceship Zambia will not make it to landing. Therefore, togetherness is the solution we require. The time is now and we cannot delay. And once we realize the power we have together for the second time, we will save our country, not from the colonial this time, but from being auctioned and from poor leadership. And then together we can sing Tiende Pamozi ni Mtima Umozi. Zambia is for us all. Zambia is us. If we neglect Zambia, there will be never a Zambia to talk about. It is time we stand up. Tiende Pamozi ni Mtima Umozi. We are part of Zambia, and if we can't save it, we all perish, and we will be slaves in our own country.